So you think we need one more? You think we need one more? What's going on, folks, and welcome back to Four Corners of the Galley. I'm your host, PBO, and you're joining me on another edition of our Top 4 plus one more. Well, that's that, folks. That's the top list over here at Four Corners of the Galley. Top movies, top actors, top directors, top adaptations, top Taco Bell's tacos, and top anything that comes into our little minds. Well, with this week, folks, we got the house with the wall, a house with a clock in its walls. You know, I'll get that title right. It's very long. And with that said, I decided, you know what? Let's check out all of the books, children books, adaptations. So here is my top 4 plus one more children book adaptations. Now you're wondering, what the heck is he talking about? We're talking Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Matilda. We're talking Harry Potter. We're talking all of those great classic stories we heard as young adults and kids in our life at school and different times when you read, and the ones that were taken and moved into movies. So without further ado, folks, here's my top 4 plus one more children book adaptations. All right, at number 4, folks, I have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, out in 2001, directed by Chris Columbus, and the original novel by J.K. Rowling, starring Mr. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Miss Emma Watson. This is the first entry into the Harry Potter world, and it is a great job done by Chris Columbus, and an amazing children and kid director. He did Home Alone and some of the other greats that we saw, and he did a fantastic job with adapting the book of Harry Potter and putting pretty much almost everything on screen, and it is the perfect entry into this kid's fable tale about a young wizard and everything else you know about it. And if you don't know Harry Potter, folks, I don't know what world you live in or how old you are, but that's just crazy. And yeah, this one is great. It's not my top, but I think it is a great job, and it is the best segue into the Harry Potter world, and it is done beautifully. So yeah, that's my number 4, folks. All right, coming in at number 3, I have 2003 Holes, directed by Andrew Davis. The novel and the screenplay was by Louis Schreiner. I hope I got his name right. He's the writer of the whole story, starring Mr. Shia LaBeouf, Sigourney Weaver, and Jon Voight. When you have the person that wrote the book write your screenplay, you're pretty much going to get a pretty good adaptation of the book. Holes is a great story about a down-on-his-luck kid who always finds himself in bad luck, stuck in this weird, crazy kid prison in the middle of Australia digging holes, only to stumble across some old treasure. I mean, this thing is amazing. This is a young Shia LaBeouf at his best. Absolutely phenomenal. Sigourney Weaver and Jon Voight as the two people running the camp are just hilarious. What an absolutely fantastic reimagining tale of Holes brought onto the screen. I thought it was beautifully done. All right, my wild card, folks, for children books adaptation is 1984 Never-Ending Story, directed by Mr. Wolfgang Peterson. The original novel is by Michael Eden, starring Barrett Oliver and Noah Hathaway. Woo! As a young kid, I love this story. This is the classic tale of a young kid who is being chased by bullies and runs inside of the library to only open up a book that he has loved forever and to be thrusted into the pages of it and to now be a part of this great story and has to go through it all. Who doesn't want to jump into a book and go this way? I know they tried this with Inkwell, and that wasn't really that great of a job with Mr. Brendan Fraser. This one is a classic and done right. The sequel, I don't know about that, but you can't beat Never-Ending Story, folks. All right, and my number 2 children's book adaptation is 1995 Jumanji, directed by Joe Johnston, and the short and original is by Chris von Alstenberg, starring Mr. Robin Williams, Kristen Dunst, and Bonnie Hunt. Are you kidding me? This is Jumanji, folks. First off, Robin Williams is all I need to say, and then you should run out and go see it. Second off, this is a great story about a young boy back in his 50s and 60s finds his game, starts playing, and gets sucked into the game, only to be stuck there for 30 years until someone else starts playing, and then he gets pulled out along with the whole jungle. They did a crazy sequel with The Rock and Kevin Hart that was, it was cool, but nothing beats the classic, folks. Robin Williams at his best. This movie is amazing. Rest in peace, Robin. You are the man. All right. And my number one movie, folks, of children's books adaptation, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, directed by Mr. Alfonso Cuarón, written by Ms. J.K. Rowling, starring the same great three actors in Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, and because he is the man, Gary Oldman. Woo! As Sirius Black. This is the first of the tales in the Harry Potter story where we actually don't focus on Voldemort. This is also the age where they basically turn 13 and they become teenagers and full-blown teenagers. This thing has got it all in one. It's got time travel. It's got all kinds of stuff. Plus Harry becoming the wizard he needs to be. This to me is the defining Harry Potter book and a defining adaptation. When you think about the movie and where it all changed in the Harry Potter world, you think of The Prisoner of Azkaban. Everything changed from that point forward. To me, it is one of the best books and one of the best movies ever made in the Harry Potter series. I absolutely love it. This is the one you want to see, folks. This is the one that matters. Well, there you go, folks. There's my top 4 plus one more children's adaptation books. Now, let's recap real fast. We got at number 4, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. At number 3, Holes. At number 2, Jumanji. At number 1, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And my wild card, folks, is Neverending Story. Well, there you go, folks. There's my top 4 list. Children adaptation books. You might not like it. I love it. That's what I'm rolling with. Until next time, folks. Good night, Ted.